Alright, cool. Hibardicus, check in.
Hibardicus checking in.
Roger,
Sure,
here's your
checking in.
objective. Everyone else, no check-ins. I'm giving someone who's ready their fucking mission briefing. Hibardicus, I'd like you to take your team, grab one of the Humvees that are provided at base, and reference the number 1 marker from your spawn base, which I will mark in a second, but should be obvious. It is near Al-Hara, toward your southwest. Your mission is simple. There is a small garrison within the town, but they've got some further off garrisons going around to prevent anyone from coming in. You need to find a building which is being used as a satellite uplink area and retrieve a laptop from that building. Once you have the laptop, RTB. Note this is stealth, so the quicker you engage, the quicker they're going to reinforce the AO. If you stay there for too long, you might find yourself overrun. So feel free to use a drone to find your enemy units before they find you. Otherwise, get to that objective, secure a laptop, and RTB. Any questions, Hob?
What's the radius of the objective marker, roughly?
That is unknown at this time.
Copy that.
Any other squads ready?
Ambiguous is ready.
Ambiguous, you are number 2. Ambiguous, here is your squad's objective. At the number 2 marker, which is to your southeast. It's the same exact objective. Find the intel site, grab a laptop, and RTB. Any questions?
That's a negative.
Roger. Are any other squads ready?
Sure.
Schult, you are squad number 3. Your objective is referenced to the east, directly from the base. Same exact objective. Do you need any clarification?
Could you just say it again?
Solid. Number 3's AO consists of a satellite uplink building. It's going to be very useful to use a drone or some sort of recon element to properly PID this location. Once you have it PID'd, get to the building and find a laptop that you're going to need to secure, then RTB. Since we are practicing Arma stealth today, the quicker you are engaged, the quicker they will reinforce the AO. And if you stay in there for too long, you might find yourself overrun. So,
Sounds good.
alright, if you have any questions, please let me know. Last squad, check in.
Are you referring to the 1-2 people in the corner?
Well, I guess those 1-2 people aren't going to play. Or they're going to have to join up with another squad. I said 4 teams of 6 to 8. I guess that wasn't understood. At this rate, I'm just going to put it out there, and if they want to do it, great. Otherwise, sucks to be them. All squads, as I said before, make sure you have a minimum of 6 people, maximum of 8. If you are over this number, you need to cut people from your squad. I have said this twice. That was the 3rd time.
Who are the extra people? We can get you guys set up with the squad.
Alright, there are 30 people on the server, so...
If you're an extra, just get in the middle of the hangar.
Let's see, 8, 16, 24, and then there's 6. Technically 5, but yeah, there's 30 people in this damn team speak.
Ground Command, this is Team 1.
Go ahead, Team 1.
Ground Command, this is Team 1. Clear to move out.
All squads who have been briefed are cleared to move out to conduct their training up.
Copy that, Ground Command. Team 1 moving up.
Alright. Everything can be called milsim. It doesn't mean it's actually milsim. You like this, Zeus. I don't always sound this annoyed or impatient. It's just they've been on the server for the actual timeline. So about an hour and 15 minutes ago, I had the mission, this server up for 45 minutes, and I had to take it down because something fucked up with the ACE settings. So they had 45 minutes to fucking make a loadout and save it in Arsenal. Naturally, they never do that. Because I told them that we would be doing a nighttime stealth operation in small squads. Of course, 45 minutes of my time and their time wasted. I had to quickly restart the server because ACE settings weren't working. Remade it, and we've been on for a good 40 minutes now, and we're now only getting out of base. So... at least Alpha and Bravo are starting to move out. Alpha's Hibardicus' squad. Alpha's 1, Bravo's 2, Charlie would be 3, Delta would be 4. So we'll see how they decide to move in on their insurgent. They're taking a wide berth, probably hit it from the south. The only squad they gotta evade is a bit of a toughie, because it does come into the outpost itself. They have successfully marked the technical, but they haven't marked the actual objective point yet. Let me also coordinate my reinforcement settings. I will be spawning them in this town right here. So we gotta go to the reinforcements tab. Spawn units. Let it load for a second. Let's make sure everything's set to the Middle Eastern Militia. We're gonna start with a car, but it's only gonna be a truck. And it's going to come in with an 8-man fire team, RCB&D spawn, and make sure they're set to 1, because that's their position. In actuality, this works really well, because they're going to do their objective. That'll let me completely focus on them. By the time they're getting, actually set, they're probably going to leave to do theirs. Third team's going to leave for theirs. Because one of my issues I thought of was I have to manage all these at the same time, but naturally, the player base has played themselves, so I don't have to do that. Why is there only 1, 3, and 4? That's because for 2, I'm just going to reinforce from this town by sending infantry directly, because there isn't really a road to go into town, and the one that does kind of goes right by their base. Furthermore, it could possibly cut off 3, and I don't want that to become an issue, because these are all supposed to be their isolated AOs. The purpose of practice and training is we want every group to... when we do larger scale stuff, sure, like it's all going to overlap, but when we do smaller exercises like this, we want to make sure each group does their own thing. So we got another squad already heading out. That, I believe, is number 2's. But they are definitely playing this extra cautious, giving a wide berth. I love that. And they're probably going to assault from this hill.
High Command, be advised, there'll be another squad filled with extras. I took a few guys from both my team and the second team.
Solid copy. Have their squad lead radio me when they are ready. One of them made a cuddle squad.
Squad 4 radio check.
Squad 4, do you know what the brief is?
Hey, give me one more time and I'll pay attention this time.
You got it, Pockets. Your objective is the number 4 question mark to your northeast. At the objective is a light garrison with multiple patrols. Our focus on this objective is a satellite array, which is in a building. You need to find this building and breach it, and within it is a laptop of critical interest that you're going to need to grab. Once you have it, then RTB. The quicker you break contact, the quicker they will reinforce the AO, so don't stay in there too long after first contact has been broken. I highly recommend using a drone for this one. Any questions?
Solid. No questions. We'll be rolling out shortly.
Good. Now we're getting them underway. Xander, I'm not really going to do any roleplay elements. This is just for basics. Don't people have basic ace loadouts saved in the arsenal? Xander, see, when it comes down to my player base, you have to understand this. When everything's stripped away, they're all still public players compared to a Milsim unit that would do like a bunch of dedicated trainings. These guys, like, you could literally just join in, since this is tier 1, like, you only have to do a single training to go into tier 1, which is just a basic rundown of how all the mods work. The rest is up to you. That's because we're more of a public, open unit compared to closed-off Milsim units that require multiple training practices before you can do anything. So, that being said, you see it in the discipline of some of these people. And it does suffer. So anyway, let's reset our global AI coefficient for that squad, and then NVGs. Why the fuck are one of them on my short-range net? I'm gonna switch channels then. Alright, so Squad 1 has deployed. They've got a solid 8 people. Should be good for that AO. And it looks like they're going to either swing around or assault from... I could get this openness, but I don't think they've successfully PID'd the fact that these guys have NVGs, so... Otherwise, a stealthier route might have been chosen, because these big open fields could pose an issue. Unless they use these trees to then sneak in right here, which I guess you could do, but you risk breaking first contact with that squad or this squad. Second AO, they have also already deployed. They're setting up. There is 7 of them, ambiguous in one stat together, no surprise, 2 tier 5s. This AO is a bit easier to stealth into. If you're trying to get to this building compound, and honestly, you can just do it from this back hill, or this area, and then punch right in. The only issue is, you're going to be assaulting this AO from uphill, and that means everything can look up and engage you, so you gotta be careful there, and you gotta pick your cover very quickly. This AO, same thing more or less, unless you wanna assault through open terrain, which honestly is never a good idea, since this is all on a little bit of a slope. But basically, to get to this structure, you'd want to assault it from this direction, which is more towards our southeast. And then you can just smash and grab and pretty much ignore the rest of the AO from there. And then this one, again, a bit more flat. I'd say best way to do it, just push in from the south. Hit this, smash and grab, leave. Easy as that. So I guess for the rest, we'll just have to see how it all plays out. One team is still at base. That would be Schultz. I guess he's spending more time in the drone. No, actually, Devincer is being his drone operator. I'm going to be perfectly honest. The SL should always be the one in charge of the fucking drone. Or the commander, or whoever the highest guy in charge is. Any important role, I would say squad leading, SL, or JTAC should operate drones. Everything else should be on a need-to-know basis. Or if you have a dedicated drone operator scouting for everybody, that's also good too. But I would say, in that instance, you'd probably want the commander and a drone operator and a JTAC to all have drones, because each of them will need it to do different
Squad
things.
4 to High Command, how copy?
This is High Command, send traffic, Squad 4.
What do we know about the enemy we're fighting? Are they insurgents? Do they have NVGs?
Glad you asked. They are insurgents. Each AO has the exact same amount of insurgents and has the same reinforcement policy per objective. And they do have NVGs. Love how we had 3 groups. Actually, everyone leave the arsenal before they asked. But we'll see if that makes anyone change up their strategy, because yeah, they're going up on this hill, and then That would be tough. I would have done this and then followed this green in and around. For this AO, if I were just looking at the topical map, have us come around, swing south, hit it from this direction. But if I PID'd that properly, I would swing around on the right and then come in from the right. This AO, with that in mind, I dismount actually over here and then swing around. And then this AO, I would come in pretty much from the south. Because although the right looks nice, you got all this open terrain right here while you have all this green that'll help you come in. From the left would also be good, but you have to cross the road, and that's guaranteed open space. Matter Dash, if you like what you see here, by all means, feel free to join my group. But if you want something much more serious, I'd recommend the 506. I do Zeus work for them every week. I do some auxiliary ops for them. But if you want something much more coordinated, but the thing with milsim units is you got to find the one that you want to do. Do you want first person? Do you want third person? Do you want an advanced medical system? Do you want a basic medical system with ACE? It really... You definitely, when you're shopping for a milsim unit, you bounce around a few places before you find the one you like. I will admit to that. They mark their Vic. They have not, but their tier 5s are going to remember where it is. Otherwise, we're starting to see every group now get underway. Some have picked much further routes than others. Now, I'm hoping they did use the drone to PID the fact that this town wasn't garrisoned, because I didn't say where all the AOs ranged were. They have a dismount point up here now. So are they going to get back in the car and move in? Or are they doing that to buy themselves more time? I don't see someone on that drone. They have Mr. J for this squad down here, but it's being led by Habardicus. So I guess I guess if they have a 2IC commanding the drone, that leaves the squad lead to then make plans based on what information he's fed, but why not have the squad lead just do both roles? That way he doesn't have to play telephone with a guy. My group, there is no needed attendance. The only needed attendance is if you're a tier 3, you need to show up for ops, but those are my best of the best, so... They're handpicked. 506, I know they do have an attendance policy. But my group, you just show up for what you want to play. None of it's mandatory. But, for Mondays now, when we do practice ops, I just do operations on what I think people need to work on. Which in this case is small-scale stuff. Alright, we might have a small issue here. They're coming within a few hundred meters of this group. However, the defilade might save them. I think they'll be okay. But I definitely do know if they had spotted this patrol, they would not be charging this quickly by standing up. They'd at least be crouched, and they'd occasionally be checking their right. But the squad didn't spot them, so... Or I guess I should call it a fire team, because that's what it's supposed to be. So I'll move from there. These guys, they are remounting. I think they're going to pick a new dismount point coming a bit closer. They have successfully PID'd the 4-man and 5-man patrols. Good. This group, I don't see any markers yet. But that doesn't mean they haven't done them. It just means they might have put them on a different thing just to their squad type. The issue is, if this is OP1, OP2, and if they decide to use that, or even that one, if that patrol gets around and breaks contact, it's going to be an issue. But I also do like how we have multiple squads here, and we have a lot of different formats. So Cholt, for example, he wrote down what he needs to do under his name, and he has a few things marked. Habardicus, a few things marked, but he has everything down to individual details, and I think he has dots down on where all the enemy infantry is. So that's good to see. Ambiguous has nothing they put down. Squad 1, this is High Command. You copy?
We copy, High Command.
Solid. Tell Mr. J to hit the alligator mouth a few times and get himself out of side chat so he doesn't hot mic and broadcast everyone his humming microphone.
Already done.
Thank you, Squad 1, for being on top of it. And then 4, we have Patrol Mark. They have their objectives written down. They got a few different points down, but they're still staying in this town, pulling security as I guess they make their plan. Alright, so it looks like Ambiguous is splitting his guys off into 2 3-man elements. Alright. They might try a pincer maneuver on this objective. I think it'll be smart enough for them to get away with it, and since we do have some... We have 2 tier 5s. So yeah, there's tier 5, Ruling Commander. He's a trusted tier 2, and he knows how to command properly. Daka, another good player, Ambiguous. I think they'll be able to do that properly. But they are splitting their medics, so if Ambiguous's element gets fucked a bit too hard, they might have an issue. Because there's no medic that's going to be able to patch him up. Recon element, they have... So this squad has opted to put a 2-man team down for recon purposes, which they have a drone. So I guess they're going to be an Overwatch element for the main force moving in. It's got to be mindful of that patrol. The main force is a 4-man team. And these guys are finally moving out to their objective. These guys have moved to a new dismount point. Let's have a look-see, Lou. Alright, puts them on a hill away, facing away from the objective. That's good. And I assume they're going to take this hilltop up and then the tree line. And then right there. Yep, that's the ideal route. So they've gotten a bit of spacing. They might opt for a 3-man Overwatch team. No, they're just crawling up to what's that's position. But this is definitely a good Overwatch position. However, for this individual compound, this definitely has the most guys garrisoned. And it does have this M3 right here, which is going to be a priority. Got those 3 guys. It could easily suppress their position if they do not immediately take him out. So he's going to be a priority target. The other M3 is going to be a priority target. And we're just going to have to see how this other 3-man team moves in. But we also do have to be mindful of that 4-man patrol.
Wrong net.
So these guys have dismounted, or at least they're starting to. And it looks like they're going to cross the road, which... It's not always a really bad idea, but like, would you rather come down to this, get these nice rocks, shoot a few guys, and then quickly run up to the perimeter? Or would you rather do that? Which, granted, considering there's an open area here, you're crossing through something open either way. I thought I heard a suppressed shot. But, rest in peace, Ambiguous gets kicked off. We'll see if they have a 2IC step up, which I would assume is what's that. But I'll get him TP'd in if he comes back.
Shooter on the left side is...
What's that? I assume you're stepping up until Ambiguous comes back?
Sure.
A-firm, I'll get him TP'd back to KTT and Daka when he states he's ready. So yep, they're going to move up that hill as predicted. This was played on purpose. Think about it. They know this 4-man team was here. So as they were heading south, this 2-man team came up to this overwatch point. Now as these guys move away from this position, these guys are moving up to the OP1 point. They're either extremely lucky or this was planned on purpose. That way this patrol will be out of position so they can begin their assault and not be outflanked from this small patrol. Very well done. So they're up on the hill, probably gathering more data. But if I were to state based on how things are going right now, I think Schultz Group is going to break contact first. After that, everyone's kind of neck and neck here. Hey, Dova, how you doing? We'll see when the AI is alerted. They do different stuff in the map. So Ambiguous has reconnected. He'll be joining in about 10 seconds. But you generally want to look for them being guns up and looking around a bit panicked, but no one is in that state right now. I love how everyone's prone and then Crimson's just staying crouched, skylining like an idiot. Alright, so this squad's moving in. Gibbs lagging behind a bit, and he's naked. Okay. I have many questions, but I won't ask. They gotta be careful, because patrol's coming in. Ambiguous, you ready for TP yet?
Yep.
Hey, firm, give me 10 seconds. I think they're going to stop on that hill, because otherwise, at that vector, they would have ran into that squad, or, excuse me, patrolling fire team. So they're going to prone it now, make sure they're not skylining. Good. That's actually going to buy them some time so they won't run into that group. But they definitely did not know it was there. That was lucky. Gibbs running back to the car. Okay. These guys are swinging south. Yep, so they're going to swing around, probably cross the road, and then hit it from the other side. And they're basically going to follow this patrol. It won't come up to their OP, but they might still want to dig in a bit more to the north before they swing up, because it could be spotted. But then again, could not. You never know. So I can hear that car moving. What is he doing? Is he moving its dismount point, or is he going to be a driver man? Oh. Maybe, and this is me thinking like an intellectual, so it's probably wrong knowing these guys, but 5-man team, get the laptop, Gibbs the driver man, he's going to quickly drive in, grab everybody, and then they're going to drive out like a bat out of hell. Maybe. Alright, Ambiguous, this 3-man team needs to be a bit careful. They're going to come near a patrol. And they're going to come up on a hill right here, so it's quite possible. There might be an issue there, staying on the back of Defilade, watching that patrol most likely. That's going to be risky. We'll watch that in a sec. That patrol's fine. And those guys have stealthed away, and those guys, I assuming, are unaggroed. So now my attention turns to this. They might pick a wide berth, but this is going to definitely be within 100 meters when they get up there. And they're going right for them. Uh-oh. They might have spotted them. They're swinging south instead. I think they might have spotted them. Yeah, because now they're going right down the defilade. Yep, so they saw them, and they have changed their positioning accordingly, but that was a close call. But avoided, which is the important part. So yeah, notice how they were going down on a southeastern vector. Now they changed it to southwest, and they're looking right at that patrol to make sure they are not spotted. Alright, so that's going to give them more time to come in. They probably already alerted What's that he might have a patrol coming up to his position. Ruling commander's back on the drone. They're going to ID it properly. And these guys are still, looks like they've stopped and they're gathering more data on that patrol. Meanwhile, these guys have swung to the south. I think they're still back on the drone gathering information. And these guys are coming in to make their move. Slowly, but surely. Crouched, crawling down. The trees right here are going to provide a good bit of distraction. Not distraction. Cover. Foliage color. Cover. Jesus Christ, wee-woo. So they can move down and they probably won't be spotted. Hopefully. And now we wait. So yeah, Gibb, he's staying back. He's definitely going to be a getaway driver. Why is the medic leading? Because stupidity. Some people are crossing ahead of him. Hope he keeps doing it. I'll radio his squad lead and get him changed. So they keep flag. I'm not sure what the purpose of the flags are. It's either possible insurgent routes, or they're trying to PID the patrol routes. Here, why doesn't good old Wee-Woo get a lantern real quick? Wow, that lantern does not help at all. Let me get a street lamp then. There we go. So this will let us see their lines. Looks like they're going to come in this way based on that. They have patrols circled. Ah, look at that. See, they've got their entire route marked. They've got the other route flagged, I figured. And then it looks like ambiguous. Tier 5s don't need markers. Just going to go in and do it. Get back on Zeus. So now I'd say Squad 4 is probably going to be the first to engage. Followed by 3, since they're starting to set up. But 2 is also getting very close, so... I'll have to be very quick about throwing the reinforcements. Oh, look, Grizzly's joining. He can join in for the second operation. Yeah, I figured they mark stuff in group instead of directly on the map. And Grizzly's missing mods. Excuse me. So one's lagging behind a bit, which I find funny because they were the first to deploy. They're swinging around. And 3 is also setting up. Definitely the most ideal route has been chosen while both patrols are in the town, so that's going to be helpful in terms of they're not going to be outflanked anywhere. It just means there's going to be more AI in the center of the town for them to focus on. Whether or not that's deliberate or accidental, I think it's still going to play out in their favor. And I've got 2 idiots glitched out. That don't want to leave. Alright, cool. Here. Light adjustments. So their set's still slowly moving in. 3 is right next to their objective. But the window will close within the next minute because this patrol's going to swing around. There's the first shot. You can definitely hear a bunch of clicking around here. There's loud shots. Alright. Ungroup them all, send them over to the compound. Here we go. So this squad's going to come in. Reinforcement markers towards the south. I'm going to quickly drop in a spawn. Reinforcements, that's number 3. So spawn units, everything's going to be set. Set the 3, set the 3. And we'll have them come in, drop them off, and continue to move in. Toggle the NVGs real quick for those new guys. And re-enable simulation. So they've secured that laptop, now they just need to get the fuck out. They're still setting. Other groups still setting. And these guys have also started engaging as well, so I'm going to have these guys come in. And this 4-man team, we're also going to need to start coming back as well. And they should be aggroed based on hearing those loud shots. Trucks coming in to deploy units. We have 1 man down outside. Going to ungarrison. Send everybody in. Squad 3 has also begun, Squad 4 has also begun their engagements. Let's see, reinforcements. Spawn unit. Set it to 4, set it to 4. Have them come in, and Squad 1 is still taking their time. So I will admit 2 has the longest time to wait for their reinforcements, but they had the biggest garrison, but for tier 5s it's not that tough. So Ambiguous has the laptop. Devincer looks like he's grabbed a truck and he's moved out, but he left everyone else behind. That's not gonna be good at all. Quickly reset our NVGs for the reinforcement within Squad 4. And we will see how things go accordingly. So they're now breaching in. Still have that M3 to deal with. He'll be a bit glitchy. But he's pulled out with a few guys, but they left some other ones there. So they're just going to leave EMH behind. Grab all the vehicles and drive off. Okay. Not a perfect run. So Ambiguous looks like he's going to grab Daka. He's being shot at by that one guy as part of the patrol. Have them come in. So KTD is covering as Ambiguous picks up Daka. They knock him unconscious. There's one more guy. We still have that 8-man team coming in. That could be an issue. It looks like Squad 3 is done. They had a single casualty that was captured. Squad 1 still setting up. Squad 4 is still taking their time. Oh, that's because they came down and the M3 wiped them both. Yep. That's why priority targets should always be dropped first. So Squad 4 is going to have a tough time here. Squad 3, they're all good. Squad 2 is pulling out away from that reinforcing group, so they're going to start moving to the car.
Ground Command Team
Squad 2's
3.
done. This is Ground Command, send traffic Team 3.
We have grabbed the terminal and are pulling back. We've broken contact. We lost 1 man.
Solid copy, RTB.
Command, this is Team 2. Be advised, we have acquired the laptop.
Solid copy, well done, Team 2, no casualties. Alright, that truck is back, and they're still in the AO, so it's time for the next wave of reinforcements. And normally I would grab him as a hostage, but for the sake of this mission, since these are just training exercises, I'm not, because there's nothing really interactive I can do with him. Alright, so they got 2 men down in the center. Still have that M3 to worry about. And Monster takes a few shots from that guy. Taking other shots, he drops him. Body's doing a little jig. M3's swinging around now. Drops him. Now it is a bit glitchy that he's like that, but Granite could just, or Giant could just walk up and down him. And Squad 1. They're taking their sweet ass time. So it looks like the trucks are having a little issue here with reinforcing. Because of course they are. So these guys get even more time to reinforce, but they've got 3 men down. Gibb, who's the getaway driver, is still waiting. These guys have all successfully pulled out. They're probably working on bandaging Daka, but neither of them is a medic, and the medic is walking away from the AO at this time. So Ratkin was part of Squad 1. He's crashed. Not sure if they're going to wait to engage that patrol or not, but second truck's going to come in. VG. This is also a good example of how you can have the same AO played out multiple times, and yet, you know, you'll have some guys struggle. You'll have some succeed with no flaws. Some succeed with some minor flaws. Looks like Dem trades with that guy. And the reinforcements are also coming down, and they're starting to fire at his position. And Giant is still up. They just gotta get in here somehow, avoid that M3, get the laptop, and leave. But none of them have made an attempt yet. They do have the guy that's operating it down, though. So they down that patrol. Here's how we'll play it. Are any of these guys guns up? That'll tell me if they got a shot off. No, they did not. So what they actually did is something you can rarely do in stealth, but they engaged the outbound patrol and took them out. But in a way that did not alert the rest of the AO. So that's a pretty rare tactic you see work in Arma because of how the AI work in groups, but in this case it was done properly. Just love how you have this line of bodies right here from that one M3. He's not... How did you miss? You just looked up there. How'd you not... Bro. Yeah, tell me you... He's trying. He's trying. He sees him now. These guys, come on the double. We got casualties starting to mount. He just needs to go in there. He knows that that's the building. Grab them. Rat King's back. He needs a TP to Habardicus's position. Let's get him back in the AO. Thank God for alphabetical order. Okay. Dem, I don't think he got that laptop. Nope, still there. He's fallen back. He has to call in Gib and pull out, or at least call in Gib for the backup, because if he tries to solo this, it's only going to get tougher. Now, they were delayed, so I'm going to bring in that next wave of reinforcements now. And this actually requires me to physically move the marker. But reinforcements, spawn units, BTR 60. Stay at LZ. Third group have broken contact. Let's get their reinforcements to start coming in. Car 1-1 RTB. Not a BM-21, a truck cargo. They'll start coming in. But these guys, they're on the compound. The M3's trying to look down, but they went in on a route that it could not look down. They've got one man down, and they're all... Oh, no, that's not good if they're all going to stay right there. Push in and clear out the rest of the compound, guys. If you stay around that body, that's just going to give them time to get the fuck out. Well, not get out in this point. This case, it's move in. Let's coordinate our NVGs. What the fuck are you idiots doing? Alright, manual move. I should have just RC'd the driver so the gunner could behave like an AI. Quickly hit the Y so the AI can take over. Now we got that M2 firing. Fox goes down. Now I hate to cut us from the action. They got that M3, but I gotta check back on Squad 4. And I'm just gonna have them swarm Dem's position. Because I don't think he's a match for that BTR. Now we got infantry coming in, but no one has moved into this building yet. Alright, he broke the truck. He would have gotten back there by now. Second wave of reinforcements is going to come in now. Which is 2 additional trucks. I'm still shocked no one's come in and breached this frickin' building yet. This is why you gotta do that. Watch this. Both of those guys are at least going to be injured.
right here.
Got 2 more waves of reinforcements coming in. This guy's firing on them. Habarticus got the laptop. Now they need to get the heck out.
Squad 4 to high command.
This is high command. Send traffic. Squad 4. Looks like Gib pulled out.
Is it a one life only operation?
For this training exercise, yes. Now they got to get out before they get overwhelmed. Yeah, so Dem, unfortunately, was overwhelmed there. Gib is just falling back. Alright, looks like they got their medic to swing around with the Vic. They kept him alive. I don't see a body, so I think they actually got Daka back up. He's in the Vic right now, so I think, yep, I think he's okay. So they're loading up in the truck trying to get out. They've popped a shit ton of smoke. And they are now getting out. That wasn't the right way to do it, though. They stayed in that AO for way too long. What normally happens with this player base, they took a casualty and they all just sat there like a bunch of dumbasses. And I guess those 2 guys were really, really lucky that my guy, even though I sprayed right at him point blank, just decided not to be effective. But that's, you know, RNG with spray and pray. Squad 2's coming back now.
Ground command, this is Squad 1.
This is ground command, send traffic, Squad 1.
We've acquired the laptop, no casualties.
Solid. That's that. All groups are returning back to base. Passed with flying colors, passed with a casualty. Like if I were to give ratings, A, B, C, F. Alright, so starting with Squad 1, and we'll go up 2, 3, 4. Squad 1, you guys definitely took the most time to get set and engage. By the time you started engaging, everyone else had already either finished or conducted their operation. You guys are just my example of... Really, KTD, you're gonna do that while I'm fucking talking? Cool. You guys are definitely the example of what normally happens when you guys take a casualty. You guys had one guy go down, you all gathered up around him right next to your objective, and instead of going in and clearing that building, you proceeded to sit there for another 4 minutes instead of someone just running in, grabbing the laptop, and leaving. You ran into the second wave, or by the time you were leaving, you had the second wave of reinforcements coming in. When in actuality you could have been there at least 5 minutes, or could have, left that AO at least 5 minutes sooner. I'd like to remind all squads that if you take a casualty, have the medic work on him, possibly have a second guy assisting the medic, have a guy pulling security, but then the rest of you need to go into the building that you're right next to, or continue on with the AO, otherwise you're just going to get bogged down, and you're going to waste valuable time. That was the point of this operation. It was all a timed game. Otherwise, you still completed your objective, and you still got out of there. Clever use of smoke to cover your retreat. Clever use of an enemy vehicle to get the fuck out, and otherwise I'd give you a solid C for performance based on everything that happened. Squad 2. I don't have anything bad to say. There were no casualties. You had a guy go down, you carried him out, you let the medic get in the vehicle with the other group, ran around, brought him up, and left. It was a very well done smash and grab. 3 people on Overwatch, 3 people went in. Reinforcements were a bit slower for your AO, but everything else was handled in well. I have nothing bad to say. Just how we're supposed to do these things. Overall, definitely an A. Squad 3, pretty much what Squad 2 did, except you left your casualty on the ground to die. So, yeah, that's a B. And then Squad 4, if you see a guy dead, you don't have the next guy poke his head out. And then when he dies, you don't have the third guy poke his head out. Maybe you think after you have 3 people dead on the ground because they did the exact same thing over and over again, you try to outflank whatever the heck is killing them, which was an M3 on the command structure. You basically had all the reinforcements thrown at you because it got dragged out pretty bad, and a single M3 killed like 2/3 of you. It was clever to have a guy stay in the Vic to quickly grab you and leave with you, but if he's just going to stay there while all of you are dying and no one's going to coordinate with him, then he's just kind of useless. No offense to Gibb, who was that getaway driver. Definitely failed that course. So, I don't really... All I'm going to say is don't be stupid with going the same exact route and expecting something different to happen. If you're going to challenge a static that's looking right at you, it's not going to work. Otherwise, the remaining guy was then overwhelmed by 16 AI, and then Gibbs drove back. So, shame what happened, but, you know, don't be dumb.
Tried to guide him as a badass.